Eduardo, my parents saw this film yesterday. They said the theater was packed. They said there was clapping in the theater when the children were rescued, and that people even stayed through the credits to see more about human trafficking on the other side. Why do you think this movie is such a huge success?
Well, because it's a real problem. It's a global problem, especially between U.S. and Mexico. USA is the #1 consumer of child sex in the world. Mexico is the #1 provider. So people know that this is real and it can happen to any of us. But they don't want this tragedy to happen to them, so they want to wake up now so this never happened to us and this never happened to any parents anymore. We're talking about millions of children that are kidnapped for sexual exploitation in the world. And these kids are being raped 10 to 15 times a day for many years, and after that, they open them and sell their organs. So we don't want that for the children. When I met Tim Ballard 8 years ago and he told me his story, I couldn't look the other way around. I didn't want to remain silent and be quiet. I want to do something about it. I'm a filmmaker. I have a weapon of mass instruction and inspiration. So I told him, I'm going to do a movie, because movies have the power to move people. Movies can detonate a movement, and we need a global movement with the global solutions for a global problem.
Eduardo, there's no doubt. And we are talking, as you said, innocent children, tens of thousands trafficked in the United States, organs, as you said, being harvested. And here's the reaction to the film about a real-life individual, Tim Ballard, who rescues these children. Here's the takeaway from The Guardian. Sound of Freedom, the QAnon-adjacent thriller seducing America. They go on to call it a paranoid new movie. What is your reaction when you hear a headline like that?
Well, you know, I'm just so grateful that the people are showing up in theaters. Yes. I mean, we have a goal of 2 million people in theaters for 2 million children that will be trafficked this year, and we're very close to get to that goal, and this is amazing. And this is important because if we succeed in theaters, then the media is going to talk about this problem. Millions of people will know about this, because there's a lot of people that don't know that this is real. They think that this is too far from them. It's happening next door, behind your house. And the more people, if more people know about this problem, so there's no excuse anymore to say, oh, I didn't know. Well, now you know. What are you going to do? I'm focusing on that right now. There is a lot of, distractions out there. They're being, they're trying to take this movie away from theaters. I made this film 5 years ago. For 3 years, everyone passed. Netflix, Amazon, everybody said, this is not for us, this is not for us, this is not for us. Until finally I was praying for an angel to come and rescue this film, and Angel Studios came. And because of them now, millions of people are watching this film. As you said, at the end of the when they leave the theater, they're crying, they're touched, they want to become ambassadors of freedom. And my goal as a filmmaker is that when people see the movie, they will ask the same question that I asked myself 8 years ago. What can I do? Because now that you know it, if you do nothing, then that's sad. Then you're part of the problem. And I want everyone to be part of the solution. I did this exercise when I met Tim Ballard. I closed my eyes and I said, what if this is my son? What if this is my daughter? What would I do? I will stop everything that I'm doing, and I will hope that the entire world will stop everything they're doing so they can help me to find my child. That's my motivation. That's why I wake up every day in the morning to fight to end child trafficking. I made a promise to God that I would dedicate my entire life to end child trafficking, because God's children are not for sale.
God's children are not for sale, and you are doing God's work in protecting these innocent children. And the American people, they're showing up to support you. Eduardo Verástegui, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I'm very grateful. Go and see the movie, Sound of Freedom.
Absolutely.